I grew up around coffee. My dad had a big old mug of coffee every single morning when he went off to work. And I'm pretty sure it was instant Folgers. Because let's be honest, this is the 80s, right? The 90s, when that slogan song of the best part of waking up was Folgers in your cup. And it smelled terrible. I just thought, how can he drink this stuff? It's so gross. It's black and it smells bitter, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Now fast forward, I'm in college and the world of Starbucks has taken over, right? There's a Starbucks in every corner and coffee shops are everywhere. So everybody's drinking coffee. It was what you did. It's how you stayed up to get your studying done or just to hang out. You went to a coffee shop. But I hated coffee. I still didn't like the taste of it. It was still bitter and black and gross. And so what I did was I just put lots and lots and lots and lots of sugar and milk in my coffee. So my coffee tended to look a little bit something like this, with chocolate and milk and sugar and all the delicious stuff. And if there happened to be a little bit of coffee in there, then yeah, I was drinking coffee, right? But it drove me crazy. I couldn't have a black cup of coffee. And everywhere you went, coffee was available. So I wanted to be able to enjoy that cup of coffee. So slowly I started to wean myself off the milk. Less and less milk in my coffee. And then slowly I started to pull a little bit less sugar out of my cup of coffee until it looked something more like this. I found something really interesting. As I started to get into black coffees and try different cups of coffee, I started to taste flavors that I didn't even know were there before, tastes that I didn't even know I would experience in the cup of coffee. Now, as I've learned to drink more black coffee, I've pretty much only drink single origin Ethiopians and Kenyan coffees and these really specialty coffees that I really enjoy. And what I've learned is that you get these like flavor notes that everybody talks about. You start tasting that fruity blueberry or that lemongrass or that chocolate or that tobacco or black tea kind of flavor. I was so surprised that these flavors actually started showing up. I started to notice them between the different cups of coffee that I would have. And then I started noticing them in different types of food that I was experiencing. Whenever I have a new designer or a young developer or product manager or test engineer that wants to come work at Crema, they always ask that question of like, what does it take? What does it take to work at a place like Crema? And my immediate response to them is go taste more things. Go acquire more flavors. And what I mean by that is build a repository of experiences. So yes, when you're first getting started, you're coming out of college or a boot camp or school or whatever it might be, you don't have the job experience that you're supposed to have to get your first job. But what I would suggest is you do have the ability to go start tasting more things. Go look at more apps. Go download more things on the App Store, or go sign up for every SaaS platform you can find on the internet and study it. Watch how the user experience works. Try seeing how they're using drop shadows, or how they're rounding the corners on the buttons, or how the text is aligned left or center or right. Study it. Build up those flavor profiles in your brain of different user experiences. Then what you need to do is actually take those flavors and build your own recipes. So now, when I make my cup of coffee in the morning, I'm gonna do a V60 pour over with a perfect grind, the perfect temperature that I know exactly makes the cup of coffee that I love to drink in the morning. And you can do the same, where you can start to experiment with designing your own interfaces. Or maybe you're into development, so you're gonna start building simple little apps. And you're gonna actually start to build up your ability to use those flavors, to use those tastes that you've acquired, and start making your own recipes, your own experiences. Now you can use those experiences to go show future employers, future clients, what you're capable of. So if you're just getting into design or development or technology in general, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be like that time when I started to wean myself off the milk or take the sugar out of my black coffee until the point where I got down to something that actually started to taste pretty good. But it takes going through the discomfort of seeking out those new flavors, probably the flavors that you don't even like, because you're not familiar with them yet. You don't know what they taste like. You don't know how to appreciate them. What I want to challenge you is to go acquire those new tastes, those new flavors, even when you don't like them. Get uncomfortable, forcing yourself to taste things that are new, that are different. Build up that repository of ideas, of experiences, of techniques, of things that you like and things that you don't like, so that you can bring this insight to your next project, to your next client, to your next employer. So I want to hear about what are the things that you're tasting right now? What are the things that you're trying? What are the things that you're collecting? Those user experience moments, those little surprise and delight moments. What are the things that you're bringing to your next project? Leave us a comment below and tell us what you're working on. This coffee's pretty cold and gross now.